Hi, welcome back to Torah View. Been a while, and it's great to be back with you, sharing some ideas and thoughts on the Torah portion of the week that hopefully will illuminate us, guide us, inspire us as we walk through this great journey of life together. So here's a moment, months in the making, highly anticipated. Took 2 trips from Moses to the summit of Mount Sinai to get there. And finally he came down with God's forgiveness to the Jewish people for having worshipped the golden calf, the seemingly epic, unforgivable sin. And that day was Yom Kippur, the day of forgiveness, cleansing, atonement, and the people were ecstatic. And as a powerful indicator of God's forgiveness, he said to the people, and now let's build a home together. And the instruction was given to build the Mishkan, the tabernacle, God's home, to be shared between him and the Jewish people, right here amongst the people. Only that, prior to the project starting and the instruction to build the Mishkan, Moses tells the people to be sure to observe the Shabbat. Now friends, the mitzvah, the commandment to observe Shabbat, has already appeared 4 to 5 times in the Torah. And the big question is, why here? Why now? We know we have to observe the Shabbat. The answer is this. There might have been the assumption that building the sanctuary is of such great import that it trumps even the observance of Shabbat. And so Moses reminded the people that no matter how great this undertaking and how exciting to build a home for God in this world, nothing is as sacred as Shabbat itself. Now, of course, the first time that Shabbat appears in the Torah is right in Genesis, when the Torah presents the order of creation. 6 days God created the world, and on the 7th day he rested. Which begs the question in and of itself, was God tired? Was he weary? Did he need to chill and relax? Especially considering the fact that all it took for him to create the world was just to utter 10 sayings, and that is what brought the whole world into existence. So it wasn't like it was exactly labor intensive. God's rest on Shabbat is not the passive type of rest wherein he needed to replenish his battery that was low. No. Menucha, or later in the Torah the word is vayinafash. God rested. The Hebrew word vayinafash shares the same letters as the Hebrew word nefesh, which means soul. What Shabbat rest is about is not relaxation per se. It's about returning to the soul of self. So for 6 days, God was the creator, and on Shabbat, God wanted to just be himself. And instructing us to observe the Shabbat, God was saying, for 6 days, you be my co-creators, make the world a better place, be creative, and extract all of the resources I've implanted into the world, and keep improving it, and keep working it, and keep developing it. It's a mandate. But on one day of the week, God says, let's stop creating and let's just be with each other. Let's just enjoy each other's company. A couple get married with a dream to build a home, to build a family. But really the quintessence of couplehood is not the building, but the being. Just being together. The experience of wholeness and of oneness. And that is the great secret of Shabbat. So it's not just a day of R&R, like Haman complained to Achashverosh in the Megillah. The Jewish people, they've got a holiday between their holidays and their weekly Shabbat. They're just a drain on the economy. Or as the Roman philosopher Seneca said, you hire a Jew, or the Jewish people cancel right there a seventh of their lifespan. They're going to be unproductive. What kind of people is this? People have misunderstood what Shabbat is all about. It's not about a day of relaxation. It's about a day of being true to our inner selves, true to the deepest part of me. And that's not the part of me that is creative, that's conquering the world, that's improving the world. It's the part of me that is absolutely one with God and that craves connection and intimacy with my Creator, which is to connect to the very deepest part of self. You know, there's an Australian nurse who, for many years, she was a palliative nurse in palliative care, and she spent a lot of time speaking to patients in their dying or waning days here in this world, and she asked them what their biggest regrets were, and she wrote a book based on what she heard called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. And you know what the number one regret that people had was? The number one regret was, people said that they regret not being true to themselves and trying to live a life based on the expectations of others. Shabbat is a day to get into that zone of being true to myself, the core of self, my connection to God, my connection to community, my connection to my family. This is really what defines me. And in the world today where there is so much clutter and so much distraction and so much pulling ourselves away from ourselves, Shabbat is more critical and crucial than ever. Let's face it, we're all addicts to our smartphones. It's just a question of degree. Well, somebody once said this: at least let it not be your first level of engagement in the morning. Let it not be with your smartphone. Because you know, if you start off your day with your smartphone, then you are already starting your day being defined by someone else. So Shabbat is a day to unplug the smartphone and plug in to self. And you know, the Talmud says, more than the Jewish people have kept the Shabbat has kept us. It is the greatest, most powerful, most potent secret weapon of the Jewish people. And you know what? Money can't buy it. You can only experience it. Just ask Bill Gates, who was hosting a conference for Microsoft and invited a Shabbat observant motivational speaker, Kivi Bernhard, to come and speak. What a career moment to be able to speak in the presence of Bill Gates at a Microsoft conference. Yet, when Kivi checked the calendar, yeah, you guessed it, the conference, the day that he was scheduled to speak was Shabbat. And so he let the conference organizer know, thanks, but no thanks. I don't work on Shabbat. I cannot speak on Shabbat. They thought that was just a negotiating ploy. So they offered him an even larger honorarium. He just said, no. I cannot and I will not work on Shabbat. Shabbat is the day for myself, my family, my God. Well, word got back to Bill Gates that there was a speaker turning down an opportunity to speak at a Microsoft conference that Bill Gates himself was going to be at. Rather than being indignant or angry, Bill Gates was very impressed. In fact, so impressed that he actually rescheduled the conference to the following day, to Sunday, to allow Kivi to speak. And as Bill Gates said, I have finally come to realize that there's one thing in the world that money can't buy, and that is Shabbat. Wishing you a Shabbat Shalom, an uplifting Shabbat, a Shabbat in which we all get to that inner space of self and share that experience with everyone around us. And please check out our YouTube channel, Chabad of East Boca, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. God willing, Shabbat Shalom.